What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor Darth Joker with this week's video. This week I'm going to give my predictions for what will happen at the Kingdom Hearts panel at D23 2026. So, that panel is coming up soon. Celebrate, the 25th anniversary. It's going to be an hour long. There's definitely going to be some announcements there. I'm interested in seeing what all happens, whether it's aired live, like it's streamed live, or we get information after the panel and like they post like trailers and any stuff on the internet. However it goes. If it's streamed live, I will try to watch it if I can. Like so yeah, I'm gonna go over my personal predictions for how it all goes, what's gonna happen. So yeah, with all that being said, on with the video. Here's what we know about the panel. So, the panel's called Deep Dive into Kingdom Hearts. It takes place Saturday, August 15th, 2026 from 4:30 p.m. Pacific time to 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, which also correlates to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It celebrates the 25th anniversary of the series, which is early next year. And as far as appearances, the people who are confirmed to appear are Kingdom Hearts 4 co-director Tai Yasue, Haley Joel Osment, who's Sora's English voice actor, and David Gallagher, who is Riku's English voice actor. So they're all confirmed to appear. I don't know if there's going to be anyone else. There probably will be some other people. You know, I wouldn't be surprised there's like some surprise voice actors that appeared to announce a world like, you know, like if someone from a specific franchise shows up, announces they're voicing their character in Kingdom Hearts, that would be a big deal. But it'll be interesting to see how they handle like the all the people who show up, like the discussions, the presentations. Should be pretty interesting. Here are my predictions as for what all will be announced or shown, at the panel. Now, one announcement or trailer that I think most people, or at least not, if not everyone, can expect to appear will be another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. Like, I would say it'll be the first English trailer. Since D23 is in the United States, it's safe to say the trailer is going to be in English. And I think this will be the first time we'll see Riku, Kairi, King Mickey, and Yin in a trailer. Like we've seen Sora, Donald, Goofy, Strelitzia, Xehanort, Volley, Sigurd, Masters, uh, Lushu, and what appears to be Ava. At least based on what people say about the voice actress. You know, I think we'll finally see Riku, Kairi, King Mickey, and Master Yin Sid. Now, as far as what world, so I think for the whole marketing cycle, we'll get more world reveals per trailer, and we'll get less trailers. And I think partly will be to help prevent spoilers because, well, the Kingdom Hearts 3's marketing got criticism for spoilers. I mean, I'm personally not a guy that cares a lot about spoilers. Some people do, and I understand why they were kind of pissed off about that. It's fine. And I understand their criticisms of the marketing. So I say they're gonna scale back on the number of trailers. And so as far as what worlds will be revealed, I think we'll actually see multiple. It'll be where it's playable worlds or worlds that only appear in cutscenes. Here are all the worlds that I think will appear. Olympus, I think will get an official confirmation. Most people assume it's appearing because of the clips that have been shown with Donald and Goofy, what appears to be the underworld, uh, coming across Hades. I think Destiny Islands will appear. That might be how Riku and Kairi get introduced, and probably seeing how she's dealing with what happened to Sora, probably before she goes to Rain Garden. And then, of course, Disney Castle / Disney Town will appear. We'll see, Mickey, Donald, Goofy, probably Yinsen there, and Mysterious Tower, because that's kind of like the main hub for the Guardians of Light. That's where basically they go to like recap stuff if they are not talking over the a gummy phone, um, or through any communications within the gummy ship itself. If they happen to upgrade the gummy ship. So those worlds will appear. Ray and Garden, I think, will appear because we probably will see Kyrie, in Ansem's lab, and maybe some more of like because I think this goes past the game goes past Melody and Memory. Like I think it starts the beginning of the year and basically lasts a whole year up through past Melody and Memory. So I think we'll see some of Ray and Garden. And Toy Box, I think that will be shown because of Verum Rex being sold there. So like I think that will actually be a very important world, especially with Toy Story 5 making as much money as it did. Despite my criticisms of that movie, that movie made a lot of money, so it makes sense they want to use Toy Story, in the marketing. Star Wars due to the Force Planet, being believed by a lot of people, including myself, to be indoor. I think Star Wars will be confirmed. Skull and Kylo, I think, will be confirmed because you had the images show the Mickey there. So we'll actually see. I think we'll actually see that of Mickey and Skull and Kylo. Probably not a ton, just like brief like clips of him there, like maybe some gameplay. And I think whichever world is for that orange and blue Keyblade with fire and water attacks, from the second trailer, I think we'll get confirmation of what that world is. And I think it's either going to be for Elemental or Moana. Those are the two that Julia brought up. A lot of people think Moana because of, maybe Moana's wanted to do Seven Hearts, which I do believe she's wanted to do Seven Hearts. And, as far as why Sora would have that Keyblade, well, there are two reasons. One, he's not going to have that Keyblade in the actual game. They're just showing it off in a trailer. But it'll actually be Riku that has that Keyblade. That's a possibility. Another possibility is that Sora's connections power, if Riku goes there, let's say it's only Sora that gets new Keyblades and the other playable characters like Riku and Mickey will be temporary, and that when Sora gets a new Keyblade associated with the world that his friends go to, and that's like supposed to be a hint of like at his connection powers, which is something that could be cool they could deal with, So that could be how I guess if it's for Moana, that could be how they bring it in for Sora. Now, Elemental, due to the color scheme, is why I think it's for Elemental, and because I think that world will be in Unreality. And Fire and Water with the main characters being someone with the that's like water, so as a fire becoming a couple, basically Keyblade represents their union. You know, so I think it's elemental, but I'm not gonna complain if it's Moana. And I think now I don't think we will get a release date announced. I do think we'll get a release year announced as 2027. That will excite people because of it's not 2028, so so people who want to play on PlayStation, they don't have to worry about the whole all digital thing that that GTA 6 did. Then all of a sudden that happens in 2028 and beyond with Sony going all digital because they're a bunch of freaking retards. But I think it'll be announced as 2027. They're not going to give a. I don't think they're going to give a month. I don't think they'll say late 2027, mid 2027. I think they'll just say 2027. And I think the actual release date will be announced months later, like probably at the 25th anniversary. Now, this kind of announcement has been somewhat leaked. So you had the Fortnite slash Rocket League stuff. So yeah, I do think Kingdom Hearts is going to be officially announced. Like it won't just be like heavily rumored, but essentially confirmed. It'll be officially confirmed. So Kingdom Hearts characters will be added to Fortnite. Now, if Mickey Mouse characters are added too, they'll have like I would say their outfits from the Kingdom Hearts games and maybe from their own individual content. I don't know how much like Mickey Mouse characters Disney's willing to add, but definitely the actual Kingdom Hearts characters like Sora, Riku, Kairi, Aqua, Terra Van, Roxas, Xion Lee, like the original characters. I do think those will be obviously they'll have like their various outfits. Like don't know if it'll just be like the ones for the next game or if is going to be the same outfits as in Kingdom Hearts 3. Um, yeah, which I'm actually surprised they're not switching them for 4 because generally they characters have gotten new outfits for numbered titles. I'm surprised they're not doing that, or at least for now. That may change over the course of 3. Over the course of like 4. Because like from three's outfits to like later. Anyway, but like so, yeah. Fortnite will get official announcement. I think for a lot of people who play Fortnite, this could be really interesting. You know, see more, I guess, Disney stuff in Fortnite. The third announcement is probably a little bold. I think we'll get an announcement regarding the Key Saga, either console game or TV show adaptations of those games. And I'd say it will be announced that they're going to release after Kingdom Hearts 4, and so the characters from the Key Saga being used in Kingdom Hearts 4 could help promote promote the game, like 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 you promote the TV show or promote like the console game adaptations, like and which when people are waiting for like I guess what's releasing after Kingdom Hearts 4, what's their speculation of what that will be. Um, that will be announced, and I think that will excite a lot of people because of all the lore associated with it, and with like Missing Link, being in the zeitgeist after you know the leaks that happened, um, and how like people are like this stuff looks really cool, like whether it's a TV show adaptation or console game adaptation for these games, I think like a announcement would really excite people. And that's it. Do you like this video? Do you dislike this video? Do you agree with my predictions? Do you disagree with my predictions? Do you have your own predictions for what will be announced at, the D23 panel? For Kingdom Hearts 4, if you think what worlds are going to be revealed, what worlds do y'all think will be revealed, whether it matches the worlds I think will, or do you have your own specific list where, and, do you think something will be announced with the Key Saga, you know, or if we won't have any of that announced. And Fortnite, like how do y'all think Fortnite will be shown, if at all, at the panel? So yeah, you put on the comments, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Look forward to the next video.